I'd like to welcome you guys back again. We're going to have a short interview with Ron Azevedo, and we're going to talk to him about his trips into the Ukraine and Chernobyl, which he has done for many, many years. And he ventures out to places that are extremely difficult to get into and stay. You have to wear a hazmat suit, you have to wear a Geiger counter, and so on. But his photography is visually impacting. And his treatment of the artwork and treatment of the subject matter is very powerful and very motivating. And I'd like you to join us now as we have a discussion. Is that recording?
Yep, I'll be back in 20 minutes.
Okay, is it on?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, welcome back everybody. And today, doing an interview with Ron Azevedo, Ron Azevedo. Sorry for screwing that up, Ron. And he's a photojournalist, photographer, and has taken phenomenal photography in Ukraine and traveled, the world taking pictures. Welcome, Ron.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
I love your work. It is fantastic. It's colorful. It's really emotionally compelling work. How did you get into photography?
Oh boy, photography has just been part of my life since a young age. Since I was a kid, my parents bought a camera at 9 years old. I started taking pictures around the house and out in up in Big Bear where I grew up. And I was able to convince them when I was probably about 10 or 12 years old to buy an online or a mail order darkroom kit.
Oh, nice.
And so I was developing my own prints in the bathroom.
That's film days.
So in the film days. So yeah.
Yep.
And it's been a passion of mine ever since. So.
Right. Now, obviously, you've moved from the film days to digital.
Yes.
And it's obvious that you travel a lot. What took you to Ukraine, for example?
Well, it'd have to go back to my very first year, 10 years ago, at the Festival of the Arts. And I was exhibiting some images from Aspen, Colorado. A lot of nature, beautiful fall color. And it was a great series, but I'm not that kind of nature photographer, kind of landscape guy. It wasn't what my passion was. I really loved old abandoned stuff. The more grungier, the darker,
Yep.
the dilapidated. After a trip to East Coast and getting into some old barns,
Right.
that brought me to trying to do something different, which got me thinking about Chernobyl, and that you could go there, and that's like kind of the holy grail of abandonment, so
Yeah.
to speak, with a
Yeah.
whole exclusion zone that's just closed off, and stuff is just, everything there is just sitting there frozen in time,
Right,
for
and
so many
decaying.
years, since 1986.
But
and
weren't
decaying.
you concerned about the effect of, having radioactive waste lying around? I mean, I know that you go in there and you have hazmat suits on and you have Geiger counters and all of that stuff. But were you ever concerned that you were going into some hazardous place?
I knew that with the people that were taking me there, that they were going to keep me safe. But again, they're government Ukrainian workers. I don't trust my own government, so why would I trust a Ukrainian government to tell me you're fine? We're going to take.
Have you had any side effects since you've been there?
No, my wife says I glow in the dark at night. Doesn't need to turn on the night light anymore to go to the bathroom.
Well, that's a plus. That's a plus. Now, what I like about your work is that it is very colorful, but it's emotional kind of artwork that you look at. It's more photojournalistic landscape kind of photography. Is that the kind of thing that you were looking to do? Is that what appeals to you?
I mean, because again, I'm not really that landscape photographer, but I love things that can, bring emotion, that makes you think, that makes you want to ask questions like, what is that? Where is that? What am I seeing? And there's a lot of historical context to a lot of the images. There's a lot of history, and there's information about different places that I love to bring out in my work to share with people that they may never seen before or visited before.
What is it the main thing that people say about your artwork when they look at it for the first time or buy it from you? What's the feedback that you're getting with your customers?
Oh, what I get a lot of, and it comes with it, they say it's hauntingly beautiful. it's the two words that are together that I hear at least once a night
Yep.
practically.
Yep.
Because it's not for everyone. Some of my images are dark and they're sad and they can be, but there's also, I want to bring the beauty of a place and bring something that's still um, enjoyable that they can appreciate and
Yep.
love, and
Yep.
not be like basically like a documentary type of
Right.
photography, which has one
Right.
intent. With the color, I can bring that other beauty to it. If it was black and white, it would definitely have a different sense
Different
to it.
look. And not knowing what you know now, you've documented a lot of buildings and history in Ukraine, which has now been gone and blown up and damaged, and you've now become a bit of a historian, landscape slash, product or building photographer. So that has some relevance, which is nice to feel.
Yeah, because I've been there 3 times in the last decade, last 10 years, 2011, 12, and 17. And again, my focus has always been on Chernobyl, but you go to a country, I love to photograph and travel, and the people, it's a beautiful country. The people are nice. It's just great food. It's so much fun to learn about their culture and history, and to take these other photographs that, like this year, I didn't think I would ever show these because, but with the war going on and what's happening there, I have so many images of the beautiful side of Ukraine that people are only see the devastation on the news.
Devastation war-torn. Now, if what could you say to either our existing photographers that are watching this or young photographers that are coming through to get into the field that you have? What kind of advice would you give them?
To follow your passion. If you got a dream and there's a desire and you have a certain interest, to go for it. Don't hold back. Follow that. Keep going after it, and you'll find that niche, that area of photography that you love, and it'll just keep growing. And just keep that passion going, and invest the time and energy, and just give 100%.
Yeah, and it's obvious that your artwork is based on all the things that you love and have taken, and I know that you and other photographers are grateful that other customers love what you love, because your style is your style, and that's what you stick with. Now, what kind of briefly, what kind of gear do you use?
I'm very simplistic. I got a Canon 5D Mark III. I got a 70 to 200 2.8 love and a 16 to 24 wide angle, and a couple other kind of specialty lenses. But I pack light. I only have a couple of lenses. They're heavy, but I have minimal equipment and get everything I.
Yeah, because traveling nowadays is a pain in the ass, especially with the airlines and with immigration and this and that when you're traveling. And have you been in any situations when you've been traveling that you thought, I shouldn't be here, or this is kind of making me nervous, or the shot is not worth it?
Never. I mean, other than Chernobyl being, when you realize when you're there, I'm in like euphoria photographing it, but then you kind of get that sense of like, this is dangerous. You're in a radioactive zone, and who knows what things are around there. If you could imagine Laguna Beach with no people, and then you're there with only a few people, with only a few people there, it becomes scary. But other than that, I love the travel, and I love the excitement of going to the places that are a little dangerous.
Yep. And now, when you go there, do you get the feeling that there's something contaminated there because there's not enough birds or animals, or have they come back?
It's eerily quiet.
Eerily
the
quiet.
One thing is you don't hear a lot. Lately, there's a little bit more on the wildlife, but for the most part, it's just deadly silent. And there's very little wildlife and birds active in that Chernobyl zone.
And you're obviously not allowed to touch or take things out.
Correct. So only my tripod.
And you go in and take photos and whatever. So it's never been a restricted zone. You can go in and take pictures without the authorities or anybody saying anything bad.
To go into Chernobyl, you have to have you have to go in there with a government agent and a guide.
And he travels with you.
But there is a group of people called stalkers that will go in there, and it takes like 2 days to travel on foot to get into the Chernobyl zone, and they will sleep in there and kind of take photographs and scope, but they don't know where the dangers lie. Whereas when you're doing it legally through a Ukrainian government guide, that's taken me in there. I have a good friend in there, and I know him so well that he takes me to places that are forbidden. So
Yeah.
it's not like forbidden mainly for physical concerns, safety reasons. It's not like I'm going into highly radioactive
got it.
zones where
Got it.
I'm going to be radioactive coming out of there.
Yeah.
You're going through thorough testing as well. You're going through full body scans. Your vehicles are scanned. You can't take anything out of there that's radioactive.
Right,
They
'cause they
know
test
it.
it.
They know it.
Okay. So now that Ukraine is a no travel zone for you, where are you planning on going next?
Well, probably next on my radar is we're looking to go to Ireland
Ireland?
and gonna
Okay.
do a lot of travel through there. I do want to get back to Ukraine for a fourth time, and hopefully in the next couple of years, be able to get back there. And also Poland is on my list. For
Right,
another trip,
right.
but-
And it's beautiful scenery.
Yeah.
I know that you're not going to have any trouble with radioactivity in Ireland. I can guarantee that you don't. So thanks for Ron talking to us today, giving us some insight into shooting in Ukraine and his travel history. If people want to get hold of you, how do they get hold of you on social media?
I'm on Facebook, Instagram, my website, ronazevedo.com, and you can find me there.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ron, and keep tuned. The amount of people that walk in front of you all the time, it's like, holy shit. Do you think we're just sitting here talking to ourselves? Thanks, Ron.